back to another first impressions video. I recently got my hands on the Kat Von D Shade&Light eye palette, and you guys know that neutrals have a special place in my heart. It's just my comfort zone, and I just feel like, yeah, I mean, it's fun doing color and going out of the box and stuff like that, but if you can show me 50 different ways to make a neutral palette, I'm not just talking about this, but like a neutral look good, I think that that's real talent. So I don't know, there's just something about good, clean skin. When I found out they were going to be sending me some of this stuff, I was really excited. I had no idea they were going to send this palette in particular. If you had no idea what the name of this palette was, you would automatically think that it was a contouring palette for the eyes. The shades that come in the eye palette literally kind of break down shading and lighting, but for the eyes. So you've got this side, which I believe is the neutral. This is the neutral quad. Then you have this section here, which is the cool quad. And then this section is the warm quad. So it's basically, I'm reading off of the it kind of gives you like an infotorial here. So it has like pictorials, and then it also breaks down what each section of the palette is. And basically it shows you how you can use the palette to define the eyes, how you can use the palette to lift the eyes, and how you can use the palette to balance the eyes. This is a great, like the concept of this is so genius. So without getting too overly complicated, but you guys know the ideal eye shapes. The ideal eye shape is almond. So if someone has, for example, a more downturned eye, then you would obviously want to apply your makeup that would not exaggerate that and would lift it to make the eye shape appear more almond. Now, if someone has a closed set eye, you would obviously use eyeshadows that would make the eyes appear a bit more further apart, just so that you can balance out the face. And I really like how this contour palette has all of the basic neutral colors that can help you achieve that ideal. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that there's not beauty in different eye shapes, but what I'm saying is when you're applying makeup, it's all about balance, right? So if someone has uneven skin tone, you're gonna want to even it out, right? Balance. I think this is the perfect the concept. The concept of this is actually, like, the more I think about it, it's so brilliant. And one thing that I want to note just upon just looking at the palette is I like how they did a really good job of keeping the eyeshadows not too overly frosty, or like these two colors here may look really light and they could go from 0 to ashy real quick. But when I swatch them, you actually, I mean, they're wearable. They're probably not the first shadows I would lean towards, but they're definitely wearable. So there's a shadow in here for, I would say, virtually every skin tone. Sometimes some of these neutral palettes, they throw in too many frosty, shimmery, high, bright shine colors that don't look good on dark skin or just look ashy on dark skin. And I feel like the lighter colors that are in this palette are workable and manageable. So that's my first, just looking at the palette. I've only swatched it a few times. I have not worn it. Today, I'm actually going to go off of the pictorial, and I'm going to kind of do a mixture between these two eyes. This is probably like one of my signature looks that I like to do in my eyes anyway. I'm also trying out not only the contour palette today, but a lot of you guys have been tagging this foundation from MAC ProLongwear. It is their new waterproof one. I did pick up a sample of it from MAC when I was in Florida last week, because I wasn't too sold on the color. So I'm like, I'm not quite, and it's very rare that I don't just buy the foundation. If I'm sampling it, then I'm really kind of, the color was just, the NW45 was just way too warm. NW50 seems a little too rich on me. So I got NC50 anyway, because I did get darker when I was out there, and I'm gonna try it out today. So of course the foundation always starts with correcting. So I go in with my Peach Luster highlighter to balance out the discoloration in my skin. And I don't want this tutorial to be too long-winded, but I gotta do it. So I want to know you guys' thoughts on me possibly doing a Korean beauty haul. So I've seen a few brands kind of come across that I've heard of. One of them, I believe it's called Laneige. Is that a Korean beauty brand? I know I've just heard that before. I've heard of that one. I've heard of Etude House. If you guys know of any more and you want to see me try some certain skincare products, please let me know. I just think it would be really interesting because the beauty industry and just Asia in general is just so ahead of the curve. And I really wish that they would make more extensive products for like more skin tones. Now I'm going in with the foundation, which I applied way too heavily, but whatevs, I'm rolling with it. So technically this isn't my first time trying this foundation. I tried it the day that I flew back to LA from Florida. And that probably wasn't the best idea because all of my foundations, I mean, it did not look good by the end of the day, but then again, I don't have any foundations that don't look really good by the end of the day, which is why I typically 9 times out of 10, if I'm traveling, I just won't wear makeup, because wherever I like, unless it's like a business related trip to where as soon as I land, I need to be ready. If I'm taking a international trip, I'm probably just gonna go to sleep once I land, so there's no point. Like, I would just travel in pajamas if I could, just to get from point A to point B so I can crash when I get there. I'm about that life. So I finished my foundation and then I did my brows offline because ain't nobody got time for all that. So we're gonna go right in with the palette. I'm gonna first prime my eyes with my glitter guard. This one is from Sephora. I just felt like using something a little more subtle today. So I just apply a bit of that on, and then I'm going to start with the neutral side. This is the neutral side. Yeah, this is the neutral quad. I'm going to take this base color and I'm going to be applying that all over my lid. So I guess this is supposed to serve the purpose of evening out the skin tone, and it's supposed to be like your starter color. Then I'm going to take this warm brown here from the palette and I'm applying that in the crease of my eyes. Ooh, very pigmented. It's really pretty. Look at that. Come look at that. Oh, this comes with a crease brush too. This comes with the, or does it come with this? I'm not sure if it comes with this, but I got this Shade&Light brush. I don't know if it's sold separately or what, or not. I'm pretty sure it probably is sold separately. So I'm gonna work that heavily into my crease, and then I'll blend it out with that blending brush I used earlier. I'm also going to apply along my bottom lash line and shape the eyes out. I love how all of the shadows are matte. Every last one of them. It's kind of nice. Let's stay on the warm side. I'm gonna take this dark brown here and using the Shade&Light brush, and I'm going to pack that on to the outer corners of my eyes quite heavily. And on top of that, I'm gonna lay a little bit of the matte black. Ooh, this is black. This thing is dark. So be very, very light-handed with it. And remember, layer your colors. Don't try to pack them on too heavy. But I'm just mixing this in with the brown. I'm liking what I see so far. This is probably like one of my favorite eye looks to create for like one of those everyday looks, one of those default looks, one of those signature Jackie O looks. I like this. So I think I'm gonna take this neutral color here and apply that onto my eyelid. Hopefully it's not too dark, but let's see. So the crease color in here is actually a good lid color too. And then let's blend everything out with the crease color again, that warm burgundy. And then I want a little bit more definition around the eyes, so I'm just going to kind of rim them a bit more with the black. And I'm going to now use the liner side of the Shade&Light brush. Oh, that's awesome. That really glides on quite nicely with this brush. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have any shadow brushes that are this fine and tapered for something like this. That's pretty cool. Now I'm blending it out with the buffer side. And then I'm gonna line my eyes with the ink liner. This is also from Kat in the shade, I guess it's called Trooper. It's just black. I'm pretty satisfied with it's just a basic neutral eye. I'm pretty satisfied with how it turned out. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup and pull this all together. Okay, so I went ahead and I've completed the look. And what do you guys think? I like the way the foundation looks so far. All I did was added mascara after I cut off the camera. And then I added one of the, hold on, I'm gonna forget the name of it, but it's one of these new Milani blushes. And they're so pretty, these from the Rose collection, Romantic Rose. And then I wore Wet n Wild Bare It All on my powders. So I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. I love it because some people are gonna be like, oh, well, it's too basic. But that's why I love it. Like, it can't get any more basic than this. I absolutely love it. It reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Naked Basic series that came out last year that a lot of you guys just weren't really feeling because a lot of people just felt like it wasn't women of color friendly. And you know what? In some ways I do agree. I feel like because I'm a makeup artist, I can make things work, but not everybody can do that, and that's okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. I definitely feel like this one is a little bit more, actually I should say a lot more women of color wearable, and the colors just aren't as ashy and as not easy to work with as I would say some other palettes that are out there on the market, some basic palettes that are out there on the market. So I don't really see the point in coming back and showing you guys what the shadows look like in a couple hours. Like, once shadow's on for me, it pretty much just stays on. It doesn't really wear off. I expect a lot from this brand. However, I am going to come back and give you guys a simple another update simply because of the foundation. So I'll check back in by the end of the day. I've got some meetings to go to, and I'm going to let you know how I feel in a couple hours. Right now the time is 1:15 and I'll be leaving here shortly, so I'll pretty much be gone all day. So I'll check back in a bit. All right, gals, mama is back, and it is now 7 p.m. aka 19:05. So you guys first saw me just before 1, okay? So that's about 6-7-ish hours of wear, give or take, of the MAC ProLongwear waterproof foundation. I don't know the exact name. And the Kat Von D Shade&Light palette. Now, my thoughts have not really changed on the Shade&Light palette simply because I don't have really oily lids. I don't typically have a problem with shadow moving or fading. I don't typically have that problem. But compared to other shadows, this held up really, really well. I love the idea and the concept of this palette. This pretty much epitomizes what I like to look like every day. I cannot wait to start traveling with this, taking this everywhere with me. It's literally every girl's basic starter palette to just the guide to having an everyday wearable, simple, basic eye look, and I love this. I love, love, love this. I also can see how you can make this dramatic, but for me, I'm going to be going in on some basic looks with this one. So if you see, you're probably going to see different variations of the same eye look every other day now. When you see that, that's usually because I'm using the same palette. Before I forget, as for the foundation, I've only had to blot one time since you saw me first apply it, and that says a lot. This really is a beautiful foundation. I put up some videos on Snapchat, and a couple of you guys had, because sometimes you guys notice when something's different. A couple of you guys noticed that's a beautiful foundation, and I was like, well, thank you. It's actually new, and I do really like it. I think it's beautiful. It's holding up in the, like, it's not too oily, it's not too sweaty, did not oxidize, which was a good thing. I really, really, really like the color on me. It hasn't changed at all, like at all. It's just as good now. It looks the same now as it did when I first put it on. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to head on out, wash this off, and go to bed. I have if this video goes up before my room tour, please check it out, because I finally listened to the comments that you guys have left me, and I was just literally waiting to put one thing in that little corner. And now that I've finished my room, it's complete, and I'm going to give you guys a tour. So I think this video is going to come up after I upload the room tour. So if that's the case, then I will put a link to the video here. Please be sure to check it out. If you enjoyed this first impression, please let me know in the comments down below, and give this video a positive rating. That helps and supports my channel. And if you are not subscribed, please be sure to do so on the way out. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Bye!